Okay, let me ask you something. Imagine you've created a massive video game, right? And you need to send that file to millions of people all at the same time. How on earth do you do that without the costs just spiraling into the billions? Well, today we're going to break down the super clever and, let's be honest, often misunderstood technology that was built to solve that exact problem. Torrents. Seriously, just think about that for a second. You've got a 50 gigabyte file. That's huge. Now you have to deliver it to millions of eager users all at once. The traditional way of doing things, it just breaks. It creates this massive, expensive bottleneck that has stumped some of the biggest tech companies in the world. So to really understand why torrents are so revolutionary, we've got to look at the problem they were designed to fix. It's a fundamental flaw in how most of the internet has worked for, well, forever. Right, so this is the classic client-server model. The best way to picture it is like a restaurant with only one waiter. That one waiter, that's the central server. And they have to personally deliver a full, complete meal to every single customer who walks in the door. Every time you stream from Netflix or download a file from a website, that's basically what's happening. And here is the fatal flaw. The moment that file gets popular, more and more people start asking that one single server for it. The poor server gets totally overwhelmed, speeds just grind to a halt for everyone, and sometimes the whole system just gives up and crashes. And for the company paying for all that data transfer, the costs become absolutely astronomical. And this is not some theoretical problem, you know? We're talking about companies like Blizzard trying to push out these massive updates for World of Warcraft, or Microsoft setting out new software. They were literally hitting this wall. The old model was breaking, and they desperately needed a new way to deliver these giant files. The solution that finally emerged completely flipped this model on its head. Instead of relying on one super powerful server to do all the heavy lifting, the new idea was beautifully simple. What if everyone could just help each other out? And this is the core concept of peer-to-peer or P2P networking. In this system, there is no single central waiter anymore. Instead, it's like every customer in the restaurant is sharing little pieces of their meal with everyone else at the table. These users, or peers, share files directly with one another. Now, this concept was so revolutionary, so different, that many people have straight up called it the single best file sharing method ever created. So what exactly makes it so powerful? Here is the absolute magic of it. When you download a torrent, you're not just taking the file from one source. Nope, you're downloading tiny little pieces from tons of different people. And here's the key part. As soon as you have a piece, your computer automatically starts sharing that piece with others who need it. Every single downloader is also an uploader. This creates this really fascinating, totally counterintuitive result. Remember in the old model, popularity meant slower speeds? Well, with torrents, popularity means faster speeds. It's wild. The more people who want the file, the more sources there are to download from. The network literally gets stronger and faster the bigger it grows. Okay, so this all sounds pretty great in theory, but how do you actually, use it? Well, to tap into this people-powered network, you're going to need a special piece of software. It's known as a torrent client. And this is a really key distinction to make. Torrent is just the name of the P2P technology itself, just like the web is a technology. To get on the web, you need a program like Chrome or Firefox, a web browser, and to access the torrent network, you need a torrent client. Simple as that. Now, there are a bunch of clients out there, but the two you'll probably hear about the most are QBitTorrent and uTorrent. For a really long time, uTorrent was kind of the go-to standard, but then it started including ads and other bundled software, which people weren't too happy about. Because of that, a lot of folks now recommend QBitTorrent. It's open source, it's super lightweight, and most importantly, it's completely ad-free. So whichever client you end up choosing, there are a few settings that are definitely worth tweaking right away. First, set a specific download folder. P2P activity can be pretty intensive on your hard drive, so containing it is just smart. It's also a really good idea to limit your upload speed. Remember, you're an uploader now, which is great, but you don't want your torrent client to hog all of your internet bandwidth so you can't even browse the web or stream a video. So that's how it all works. But, like any powerful tool, torrents have two sides. And the very things that make this technology so strong are also the source of its biggest controversies. A really great way to think about it is like a kitchen knife. A knife is an absolutely essential tool for cooking, but obviously it can also be used to cause harm.
The tool itself is neutral, right? What really matters is how people choose to use it, and the exact same thing is true for torrents.
This duality is really the key. Its greatest strength is its decentralized nature. It's incredibly resilient and unbelievably cost-effective. But the weakness is that this exact same lack of central control makes it a place where people can easily share copyrighted material, which is illegal. And what's more, the entire system is completely dependent on its community. If users download a file and then immediately stop sharing it, the torrent just can't survive. It needs people to participate.
So, when you look past all the technical details and the controversies, what does this technology truly represent? What's the bigger picture here? Ultimately, torrents are so much more than just a clever way to download stuff. They really represent a fundamental shift in how information itself can be distributed. It's a model that takes the power away from a central corporation and gives it directly to a network of users. And that leaves us with one last really important question. In this system, every single person who downloads also becomes a distributor, a publisher. So when the power to spread information on a global scale is suddenly available to everyone, what does that truly mean for our digital world? Something to think about.